Okay, next up, Jack Frost. Are you ready for a fucking insane sentence? Jack Frost is a Groundhog Day movie. If you look at the Wikipedia page for Jack Frost, they say that is a combination Groundhog Day, Christmas, and winter movie. Like, general winter movie. And it focuses specifically on the character of Jack Frost. He's given a slightly more palatable appearance from like the scrunkly motherfucker from Winter Wonderland and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, Jack Frost is explicitly based on the design from Frosty's Winter Wonderland, by the way. Is he a Tumblr twink? He is absolutely 100% a Tumblr twink in this movie. You can look up what he looks like in this movie. 100% twinkified. No longer a scrunkly motherfucker. They made him hot in this one because they have to give him, like, a romantic interest. And they have to make it believable that somebody would want him. None of these words are in the Bible. Several of them probably are, actually. Anyway. So, Jack Frost. The what's the word I'm looking for? The framing device of Jack Frost is a... This one is told by the groundhog of Groundhog Day, whose name is Pardon Me Pete. And he's called Pardon Me Pete because if he sees a shadow, he gives a pardon me and then rushes back into his hole. And they put a lot of emphasis... Like, okay... Does anybody else know who Punxsutawney Phil is? I have to ask, before I start going on about fucking Punxsutawney Phil. If I talk about Punxsutawney Phil, how many people in chat are going to know who the fuck I'm talking about? So Punxsutawney Phil is the name of the groundhog that they generally center the actual celebration of Groundhog Day around. And it is... Okay, no, I saw the fucking trees. What the fuck? Yeah. It is kind of a big event, Punxsutawney Phil, and whether or not he sees a shadow. But here's the thing. The whole Groundhog Day thing, where if he sees a shadow, there's another 6 weeks of winter. If you can believe it, total bullshit. Not in this one, though. Pardon Me Pete is a respected meteorological icon. No, wait a second. Wait, hold on. Actual Groundhog Day, not like the repeating timeline loop thing, not like Majora's Mask type of situation, Groundhog Day. No. Actual legit, if he sees a shadow, there's 6 more weeks of winter Groundhog Day. Like actual fucking plump-ass ground rat holiday movie. Yes, and let me tell you, Pardon Me Pete, that boy, plump. He is a round little man. It's kind of funny. Friend of the stream, Audrey of Team Catpole, watched this movie, I think, last year. And it fucking broke her mind. Just because, like, this movie gets kind of wild. So this movie takes place in... Russia? It's Eastern Europe, pretty clearly. The main villain is the self-described Cossack king, Kubla Kraus. And he is out here subjugating this little village. Googling the most festive way to cancel my subscription live thanks to what I learned here today. And in this village lives a family that is just barely getting by. I mean, they're all just barely getting by. Kubla Kraus is taxing the fuck out of them. The Cossack king, Kubla Kraus. Yes. I need you... You need to accept all of this at face value or we're going to be here all fucking day. Now, the movie goes on to explain that winter is controlled by a man named Father Winter. And he commands a legion of... Okay, this movie came out in the 70s. And it uses the G slur pretty liberally. And I am in no way about to continue that usage. So let's just call them snow fairies. We'll just move past that. Yeah. There are a number of people under Father Winter's employ who make snowflakes, send snowflakes down. There's a guy named Snip who he make it a snowflake, and every time he make a really good snowflake, he's just like, oh, this is Christmas snow. This is Christmas snow. And he saves it for Christmas. Gay, gay, homosexual, winter elf, gay. And then, like, there's like a guy who's in charge of hail. There's the slush sister, or no, the sleet sisters, excuse me. He's got a whole racket going on for making snow. And then there's Jack Frost. Jack Frost likes to go down to Earth and just like zip zop zoop around and make people cold. Central song in this movie is the Christmas song, Chestnuts roping on an Oastin fire. Oh, Oastin? What the fuck am I talking about? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Why is there a fucking pantheon of cold weather commie? See, when you warned me about Eastern European setting in the 70s, I was expecting like, okay, sure, there's Red Scare commie. It's not, no, this movie doesn't take place in the 70s. It was made in the 70s. What the fuck am I talking about? That's what I've been fucking asking. So this destitute girl, who is like the prettiest destitute girl you've ever seen, is like hanging out on Christmas when suddenly all this ice breaks up and she's about to go like careening off this waterfall. But Jack Frost saves her, and she's just like, oh, Jack Frost saved me. Why, if Jack Frost was a person, I would fuck him right here in the snow. She doesn't actually say that, but, like, I mean, it's the same thing. And Jack Frost is just like, I want to get my dick wet. So he goes to Father Winter. He's just like, yo, Father Winter, check it out. Let me be human for a bit. Father Winter's just like, okay, if you want to be human, I'm gonna send you down to the earth, okay? You gotta get a wife, you gotta get money, you gotta get a horse, and you gotta have a house if you want to stay human. And Jack Frost is just like, it's done, easy. So I can do that, no problem. Whatever. Why does he need a horse? Because this is like medieval times or something? Why is Father Winter a classist? Because he sucks. So Jack goes down to Earth, and he meets up with the girl who's just like, I would absolutely 100% give Jack Frost the sloppiest dome ever. And she's just like, oh, hey, how are you? But he's not Jack Frost anymore. He's Jack Snip. He says he's a tailor. This is a blowy joke. If Father Winter sucks, why does he need this human woman? Jack Frost comes down to Earth and looks at Tumblr. So this woman's just like, I love two people, my knight in golden armor and Jack Frost. You're neither of those. Sorry. But he's just like, I will win her heart. Little does he know the knight in golden armor is like an actual fucking person who was like off training with King Arthur or something. Which, like, the timeline of that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Like, let's be real here. So he's tasked with doing all of this before the end of winter. Now, of course, because this is a Rankin Bass movie, one of the things that has to happen over the course of this time frame. Oh, and Snip and one of these Widow Snow Fairies is they're sent down, and the G slur is thrown about a little bit more. They're sent down to Earth to help out Jack Frost. in his quest, and like just kind of keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't like fuck shit up. And okay, so I need to tell you about the world building in Jack Frost, okay? His wife is the first in the lineage of people that would go on to draw sex pictures with Onceler's fucking glove. How'd you get through all this horse shit without substance abuse? Easy. I don't like substance abuse. Anyway, so... Also, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil something right now. Jack Frost was one of my favorites of all these movies for the longest time. Okay, so we need to talk about the bonkers world building in this. Okay, so... The setting here in this destitute Eastern European village is that Kubla Kraus taxes the shit out of these people, to the point that for most of the year, they don't have any fucking money. So everyone gets really excited when winter comes around, because there's icicles that like will form on the fountain. They take the icicles and they chop them up into ice money, which they then use all winter, at least until it melts and they're all fucking poor again. I don't know how this system of economy works. But it's incredibly bonkers when we get around to Christmas. Because, like, let's be real here, it's still ice money. Like, what the fuck kind of gifts are you gonna buy with ice money? So what they... Okay, So their Christmas tradition is that everybody sits around a table and they pass around an empty box and take turns pretending that whatever is in the box is the thing that they have wanted for all time in their life. And I want to emphasize that this is an absolutely insane sequence of events, but is also the most banger song in the film. It's the Christmas tradition of making calories from fucking ice and vividly hallucinating over a ritual box. Yes. But the song is... It's just what I've always wanted. And it's like I said, it's kind of a banger. Like, it's a very fun, very catchy song. And it almost makes you forget that it's people who are so fucking destitute that they have to pretend they're getting the thing that they've always wanted for Christmas. Now, Mr. Knight in Golden Armor, who is the other person that our main female character wants to just, like, fuck the soul out of, decides to go one step beyond. He hands a box over to this lady, and she's like, it's a magical wand. And he's just like, no, it's an actual like, you could open it. I got you an actual present. And it's like a very nice rose. And he proposes to her, and it's like, we will be wed with the first spring bloom. So let me go ahead and talk about Kubla Kraus real quick, because there's so much to get through here. Again, the world building in this movie is fucking bonkers. So Kubla Kraus is a man who lives all by himself. He has a legion of clockwork knights called his Knights. And he has a coal-powered horse whose name is... Hold on. Clang Stomper. And his closest confidant is a puppet that he uses. You think Knights is short for Cossack Knights? No, it's Kehnights. It's just, you pronounce Knights but with the K. His puppet's name is Dommy, which is supposed to be just the funny way of pronouncing dummy with, like, his very thick accent, which becomes very funny when the Groundhog describes later on how Jack Frost is able to perfectly replicate Kubla Kraus's Dommy voice. And I had to stop the movie there, because I'm just like, okay, hold on a second. You can't just fucking say that. There's so much shit in these movies that it's just like modern parlance and vocabulary has evolved so much over the decades that it's just like, I hear something like that, and I'm just like, you can't fucking say that. Jack Frost, Snips, and the Lil Gal are all captured by Kubla Kraus. And they had to go fight him because he kidnapped the girl with the intention to marry her. Her knight in golden armor goes to save her, and he does pretty good. He takes a hit, but like he manages to rescue her and get her back to the village. Meanwhile, Jack Frost and his friends get fucking captured, and they just kind of fucking forget about them. Up until the point where it's just like, oh, I wish I could have invited Jack Snips to the wedding. It's just like, you left him to be captured by Kubla Kraus. So, Jack Frost is sitting in the dungeon, and he's just like, hey, I know what I can do here. And he calls out to Father Winter to return him to his sprightly form. And he completely freezes over all of Kubla Kraus's castle. Hey, why doesn't the knight in golden armor, I don't know, fucking sell his gold armor? He doesn't have to. He's not poor. He's not actually poor. He's doing pretty well for... He trained with King Arthur. Like, he probably has like a lordship waiting for him. He's not gonna help the town. That would be silly. So he's returned to his sprightly form, and he freezes the fuck out of Kubla Kraus's entire castle. But uh-oh, winter is ending. So Father Winter's just like, I mean, like, once winter ends, our dominion over this land will end as well, and he'll thaw out and be free to just completely fuck over everybody else. The Russian trade with King Arthur of Albion, the true king of Brittany? Yes. So this is where Jack Frost goes to pretend to be Pardon Me Pete's shadow. And, like, manages to get 6 more weeks of winter so that he can keep Kubla Kraus's castle frozen. So the 6 weeks go by, and Jack Frost is like, fuck, my time's up. Wait, I still have till the end of winter, right? Send me back. And he goes back, he manages to defeat Kubla Kraus and kick him out of his own castle, just like, ha, my castle now I've got a house. Ooh, I got gold here. This is several bags worth. And then he sees Clank Stomper's just like, you count as a horse. So he's got a horse, he's got a house, he's got gold. Just like, I just need a wife. I need to go stick my dick in something. And he rushes down to town, and he's just like, I need to confess my love to this woman. And it's just like, he finds her father. He's just like, I'm in love with your daughter. And he's just like, okay, and he's just like, He's just like, listen, my daughter loves 2 people. The knight in golden armor and Jack Frost. You are neither of those people. I've never heard her talk about loving you. And he's just like, oh. Shit. And they get married and winter ends and Jack Frost goes back to being a sprite. Kind of a bittersweet ending, but like, you know. Your daughter has never met Jack Frost. How does she love him? Because he saved her. And she loves winter. Now, the good news is, because Kubla Kraus has been booted out of his own goddamn castle, the townsfolk are free to basically retrieve all of their gold and prosper once more. All you had to do was marry the damn horse, CJ. So here's the thing, okay? I like this movie. I do. It was one of my favorites as a kid. Why didn't they just break in and kick him out themselves? Because he had all the Knights. But Jack Frost was able to defeat the Knights by perfectly replicating Kubla Kraus's Dommy voice and ordering them to all walk off the cliff. I can tell you like this movie by how many times you have to stop and take a deep breath. This movie is absurd, but I kind of love it. But I recognize that it is absurd. But I also can't look over how much time it uses the G-slur. I gotta put it in C tier. Sorry, Jack Frost. I love you, man, but such is life.